such an asshole.
Asshole Consulting, banging out. This may be a 10 video day today. I don't know what happened. I yelled at everybody, said this is not a free service, then everybody started paying. Oh, let's go. Please keep me anonymous. I love your videos. I have not yet warmed up to giving money away through Patreon. Don't blame you. Don't blame me. You want to help me out? Go do shopping through my Amazon affiliate program. That way you get something, you don't pay more, and I still make money. But if, for whatever, it's weird, dude, but people like Patreon, they're like, hey, here's some free money, and I don't want anything in return. I'm like, well, go to Amazon and buy stuff, and the links are down below. So I will make you work for your hard-earned money. Yes! If that raises your rate for my consulting, so be it. If me mentioning raising my rate raises my rate, fuck it, so be it. Dude, I lowered your rate by $2 because you're honest about Patreon. I was raised in the Tennessee Hills and come from a very poor background. Yes, my accent is so thick it makes the northern women swoon and the southern women cringe. Throughout my life, I was always taught that while poor, hard work and education would lift me out of poverty. I went to work at 16 and worked 40 hours a week while attending high school. To be honest, I hated school at all levels and only kept up with it because of the above teachings. After high school, I continued to work full-time at various blue-collar professions while attending college on and off as I could afford. It took until my early 30s to get my shit together. Finally finished college with a degree in computer science. Soon after, I took a job working for a software company in a place, and much like Jed, I moved away from there. Movie reference. Currently, I'm in my early 40s. Online IQ test put me around 130 to 140 IQ. My salary is around $70,000 with another $28,000 in benefits. The only debt I have is my very manageable mortgage. I did not plan it, but I lucked out. He lucked up and bought in at the bottom of the housing crisis. I am getting a late start, but I am building my finances like any Clark Howard or Dave Ramsey would advise. With any that is left over, I am buying bullets, silver, etc. as you have advised in your past videos. Good. I mean, you only need so much. You can only fire one gun at a time, and you need maybe 1,000 rounds each. I got a pistol, sniper rifle, carbine, and then, well, I do have my bullpup. Now that's a fun gun. That's a fun gun. And various assorted pistols. But yeah, and ammo weighs a lot. But you only need 200 ounces of silver, and you're good to go. The problem I have is I feel that at any moment, it could all come crashing down, and tomorrow I will be forced to go back to living in a trailer park. I constantly feel my skills are inadequate. For the last year, I've been constantly remodeling my house to improve value, learning Spanish as a second language. That's a waste of time. And contemplating a second job as a waiter, no taxes on tips. This leads me to my current obsession. One of my benefits at work reimburses education expenses. I have now developed an obsession with earning a second bachelor's in civil engineering or possibly a master's degree. Please help. Is there any way to turn it off? No. No, and I'll tell you why, because I'm there. I wish I could turn it off. I wish. And yeah, the old captain's always riding around. He's having fun. But that's only another obsession that outdukes my fear of poverty. And that is, I'm trying to compensate for lost time. I want to have fun before I die. I'm not going to have this shitty ass, childhood where there was no fun. And then I have a shitty ass adulthood where there was fun. No, there's going to be fun, and it's going to be paid with interest. And I'm accomplishing that amazingly. But for the fear of poverty, no. And I wish I could get rid of it, and I wish I had a solution for you, but I simply don't. And I've tried, but the first step is to admit that it's not going to go away. The second thing is realize that is what's keeping you out of poverty, is that hard work and the buttressing of your financial defenses, like gold and silver and bullets. Like you, I bought that before I started investing in an IRA. That was more important to me. Paying off my house, that was more important to me. Making it so I have income and rental income so that I don't have to answer to anyone, and that if things went away, it didn't matter. That was more important to me. Having multiple streams of income, which is where I think your brain is kind of flirting with now. That's not bad, and yeah, that's more important to me than a 401k or an IRA. And in your case, it's serving you well too. So I would not necessarily fight it. Now, obsession is the key word where it's starting to ruin your life as opposed to improve it. So whereas this may be lessening or ruining your life because you are becoming obsessed with it, let's take that same energy, since it's not going away, that fear is not going away, and let's channel it towards more productive measures that are going to be more effective. And then we could talk about things that you could do to force yourself to relax and turn it off. But I can almost guarantee you, I'm your age too. I haven't found a way to turn it off. I just haven't. And I don't think it's... I've told people about this before. I don't know about you, but I eat incredibly fast. Because I needed to eat fast because I didn't know if I was going to get another call, and I had to go off to respond to some call or walk somebody home. This is in college working security. And I didn't have to. I had to eat fast because then I had to go to work. I had to go to school. There was all, and even after school, you had to go, jump. So where do we go? Let's talk about your obsession and turning it from an obsession to something more practical. Okay, if you want to go back to living in the trailer park. Okay, so one, you're very unlikely to go back to living in the trailer park. The reason I say this is because you have a mortgage that's very manageable. But if you're still worried about that, I'm not against you working a second job like being a waiter to pay it down. My question to you is, again, this gets back to the obsession thing. Well, if you're in software, what were you in? Computer science. Would you not make more money doing some kind of contract work at night or on your own time? I could be wrong. I don't know what waiter opportunities there are out there. And waiters can make some damn fine money. It's not... but is that the best use of your time? Regardless, I do agree that if you were a waiter, you had some kind of second job to pay off your mortgage. Once you pay off that mortgage, that is probably the largest thing that goes away, and that does help. That does help you turn it down, not off, but it does help you turn it down. So I think that might be a really good thing you can do. Also, if you have all this extra energy and this fear and you want to channel it towards something, paying off your mortgage, that's really going to help. That's not going to be wasting your time or being obsessed about stuff. So I would get a second job, but only as long as you have a mortgage. Once that mortgage is paid off, boom, you're done working that second job. Unless you really like it, maybe work a night a week as a waiter. Because sometimes that could be fun, bartending and stuff like that. You feel that your skills are inadequate. Again, not bad either. Not in the world of IT. You got to keep your skills up and current. Another perfect example. People make fun of me. The girlfriend gives me guff. Tomorrow is June 16th. You know why June 16th is a good day? Because that's the first day I can pay third quarter taxes. And people look at me and say, Aaron, you have until September 30th to pay third quarter taxes. It's like, yes, that's true. I want to pay it now. Because out of everything I want to owe money to, the government is the last one. Like, you pay that first, then after, okay, what do I, now the money that's in the account is what I can go ahead and pay for. So I am always like, let's get this done, let's get this accomplished. Fear is what drives me to put together older brother, run other side gigs, run other side businesses. I do not procrastinate. What can be done today will not be put off tomorrow. And that is very key to my own success. I love it where, dude, you gotta relax. You don't have to pay your taxes. Dude, we don't have a real job like you. You can't all just drive around. And they don't make the connection. They don't. So again, that fear is good if it forces you to keep your IT skills up so you can go get jobs. Hell, get more certifications. Get better certifications. So that you can go ahead and command even higher salaries. Or channel those skills towards some kind of entrepreneurial venture. I think the guy 2 videos ago, he's also software development. Maybe you're not software, but he was in software development. And he wants to run a little gig on the side coming up with his own program. Great expenditure of your time, because now you're no longer dependent on one source of income. You have another source of income. It's independent. It's you. It's self-employment. So I would definitely have some of your fear. Don't lose sleep over it at night. But that fear is a good thing if it keeps you on the cutting edge of keeping your skills up and up to date. So that's not necessarily bad. For the last year, I've been constantly remodeling my house to improve value. Okay, that's where now you could start really pissing away a lot of time. What are you remodeling? The kitchen? The kitchen is where you should remodel. You know this. You can look this up, especially you know the Dave Ramsey and I don't know, the Clark Howard guy. But there's some things that are worth remodeling. There are other things that are not. Now, I'm all for foundation, infrastructure, key things, making sure that's good. More recently I've been fighting scorpions because you don't want to have scorpions in your house. So to a certain extent, but you got to draw a line because you can lose all your time. You know, oh, that could be touched up paint. Oh, that could use caulking. There's always something to do with a house. And unless you're going to like live in that house forever, I would be somewhat cautious about how far you're going to want to go. I think the most luxurious thing, I put siding on my house. I put a shed on my house, which is a recording studio. Caulked the living hell out of it to insulate it during winter. The commands to the scorpions are down in Vegas for another buddy's house, but that's a different thing. There's just so much you can always improve your house, and that's where you're just going to waste a lot of your labor. So all of a sudden you're like, I could redo this room. Yeah, do you have to redo the room? Do you? Or would your time be better spent picking up a new programming language? That's what I'd be worried about. So maybe have an engineer come in, look at the foundation, put siding on the house, make it so that the house requires very little maintenance. Those are investments worth making. But once you get there, like my house over in the Twin Cities, I'm not improving it anymore. It doesn't need any more improving. It's basic maintenance, yes, but not remodeling anything. So I would scale back on that. Learning Spanish, I don't know why you're learning Spanish. I have no idea. Why? So you can learn if Latinos hate you, if they're talking behind your back and they think you don't speak Spanish? Why that? I maybe learn Mandarin if you want to have some kind of income potential with that, but Spanish, I don't know why you're learning Spanish. Learn a computer language instead. I'm contemplating a second job as a waiter. Okay, I'm fine with you on there. This leads to my current obsession. One of my benefits at work reimburses education expenses. I now have developed an obsession with earning a second bachelor's degree in civil engineering, or possibly a master's degree. Why? Why would you waste your time getting a second bachelor's degree that you don't need, that is a complete... And you can't make money off of it. You can't make money off of it because you're busy working your software job or computer engineering job. Now you're going to go into civil engineering. Well, you can't work two jobs at the same time. And even though they're STEM, they're completely different fields. I would specialize within your computer science degree or get additional certifications if they're going to pay for it. I don't see what getting a second bachelor's degree is going to do you. Again, because I'm operating from the premise you can't turn it off. You're going to have this energy and go do something. All right, get rid of Spanish. Quit pissing away your time with it. Stop remodeling house. Now you have enough time that if you really want to pursue an advanced degree or additional certifications, you can, but only as it helps you become more employable within your currently already established field. About the only thing I could think with an advanced degree, though, see, and I don't even think you should get an advanced degree because it's the languages and the skills. Thank God, that's the way the market's going. But the only thing I can think of is if you would get an advanced degree, master's, or a doctorate so that you could teach as a professor. But even then, unless the adjuncts make check. Now, admittedly, that's your liberal art adjuncts. But that might be another source of income for you, is you teach on the side. So you have your daytime job, you're programming something for an entrepreneurial gig, your house is bought and paid for, taken care of, it's wonderful, you don't have to worry about that. And then you moonlight as a professor at night, teaching classes, with a doctorate that would allow you that if you lost your job or anything, you could then go ahead and teach. So that's what again, you're not going to turn it off, but let's be very precise and judicious with and economic with how we spend our time and how we invest our time. So I'm not against it. I completely understand where you're coming from. But you're spreading yourself way too thin and among some things that are just not going to pay off. That Spanish is dumber than shit. That is dumb as shit. I would not be with. Civil engineering, dumb as shit. I mean, it's a hard discipline, don't get me wrong. But you already have a good profession and skill. You don't need a second one. I would invest that money into entrepreneurship or a second part-time job to pay off your mortgage. So those are some goals and some bones for you to chew on. Paying off your mortgage, working a second job to pay off your mortgage, getting your house to a point that it no longer needs maintenance, or the least amount of maintenance. Not looks perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good. And then I would not be getting a completely separate degree. I would avail yourself of the educational opportunities, the tuition reimbursement of your employer, and have them pay for a master's or more advanced degree or some kind of certification, with the goal that the certifications would help you earn more, be more employable, and then if it was an advanced degree, it would allow you to go ahead and teach at a university, so you're not going to be starving necessarily. Now, psychologically, how to turn it off. Very small bits and pieces of success in my world. I've golfed. That really takes a lot of energy. That helps me calm down, and it's something you could chew on it. There's always room for improvement, and it's fun. It's relaxing. That is one thing I'd recommend. Motorcycle riding, running, hiking, something that involves distance and endurance, and you get to see things. So that's another thing I'd recommend. You just burn off the extra energy that way. I don't like lifting weights. It could be lifting weights, though. You might like lifting weights. Something to physically burn you out so that you don't have any more energy. And something that's fun so you're not wasting your time. Some people have recommended martial arts because, again, like golf, you have to hone your skill. You're sparring. There is some kind of progress there. But then mentally turning it off, I will force myself to take a day off. Like I have to take at least one day off. I try to take off 2 days on the weekend. It's really hard, especially with work coming in and asshole consulting doing as well as it does. But I do. I will take Saturday and Sunday off. And here's the thing. You sometimes just have to force yourself to do it, whether you want to or not. And then not only that, you have to forgive yourself and let go and not worry. Because if you take 2 days off and you're all worried about all the work that's built, you're not taking 2 days. Then you might as well work. Because like today's Friday, and obviously I'm doing asshole consulting. Everybody's out there having fun. And they're going, oh, how did you do that? Why can't all be like you? But tomorrow and the day after, I am not working. I'm not doing anything. And you need to take a Sabbath. I wouldn't advise drinking, although that it does work wonders. It's a real easy instant fix, but it's not a long-term fix. It'll fuck you up. But yeah, sometimes it's just like, no, I'm going to sit. So where I've found a lot of success is hobbies that are not productive. I got everything in order. Keep in mind, I'm not saying don't pay off your mortgage. I'm not saying don't go work as a waiter. I'm not saying don't go get your man. Once you get that all set then, and you'll never be 100% inured and inoculated against everything, but you, me, and all the other guys, I got my 200 pieces of silver, I got enough guns and ammo, I have a house paid off, I have a skill, ironically enough, if you want to call it, it is, people are paying for it. You have to realize that there is no risk-free life. You could always lose it. A nuclear war could happen, and we're going back to the trailer, and you'd be happy to have a trailer. But out of everybody out there, you are the least likely. Here's the other thing that people like you and me are going to have to worry about, or I hope we have to worry about someday, is we're going to be that Great Depression era where we're saving everything, and I'm trying to loosen up and go golf. Golfing costs a little bit of money, although I do it very cheaply. You're going to be that guy who only spends $20,000 a year, lives in a trailer, but has $5 million, and he's 73, and his folks died at 75 apiece. You're not gonna have a happy life. Well, you can still have a happy life because there'll be safety, you'll be secure, but you'll have all this money, and you'll fail to realize the other fun you could have with it. Not necessarily happiness, but other fun you could have, traveling, stuff like that. So it will make a lot more sense, or you'll feel a lot better, I know, if you pay off your mortgage. That's something where you could take your energies and your fear and knock that son of a bitch out. And that is good. That's good. And then you're like, okay, all right, I'm not going to go homeless anymore. I'm not going to starve. And when you get to that, then you kind of loosen up a little bit. Like, You're right, I can afford sushi today. Or you're right, I can afford 18 holes today. Not with the golf cart, though. Oh, that's for rich people now. Oh, let's be realistic. Sometimes, though, you do find some good deals. If you go to golfnow.com, you can get some really good deals. Man, I should write a book on cheap golf. That is, I am a master at that. But in the end, I've kind of banging my head against that wall enough times. It doesn't go away. And I don't know if you want it to. It's your good friend. It got you to where you are now. It's just now you don't. The war's over. It's over. You won. You won. I wouldn't say you won until you paid off your house. Then you won. Then you really did win. And now you got to realize that the dynamics have changed. You're not in the trailer park anymore. And now you do yourself no service. You do yourself a great disservice if you don't avail yourself of your hard work. I'm not saying piss away your money, but I'm not even saying spending your money, but just relaxing. And so, if it requires you, like I bought myself a Nintendo Switch. And the reason I bought my Nintendo Switch was so I could play Zelda because it looked like a Breath of the Wild. Because it looked like a Red Dead Redemption game where I could just get lost and relax and not think about things. And it was like hundreds of hours worth of gameplay, just relax. So that I allow, and that's what I'm recommending you do, is kind of these quasi hobbies that you burn off your energy, but it's still fun and you relax and you're not always worried about the next thing. And it's great. I put on my headphones and I go golfing. I cannot recommend that enough. I cannot recommend that. And it doesn't have to be a fancy. You don't need fancy. Go to Goodwill. Dude, I got my golf bag with a full set of clubs for $40. They're horrible clubs, but they work because I'm a horrible golfer. But I put on my headphones. I listen to the Beckloff, the Dick Show, Penn Jillette, Pushing Rubber Down, all those guys. And I just chill out and I relax. And after 18 holes, and then work is there. But you enjoyed a good walk and it was nice and you listened to some podcasts and things were relaxing. So I don't think there's a way to turn it off, but I think there's a way to channel it correctly and turn it down. But you're never going to turn it off. And I don't think you want to. Because the truth be told, that's what puts us above the rest. That fear is what makes it. That's how family fortunes are lost, because the kids don't have the fear of God put into them and they just piss away the family fortune. Or they become governor of Minnesota like Mark Dayton. All right, that's it. You guys got questions. Captain's got answers over at assholeconsulting.com. Check out our new website, olderbrother.com, where we have a link to the Older Brother podcast and other things. I got to work on the website there. But not this weekend, because that's work and I'm not going to worry about it. And then there's all this other shit and stuff. All the links are down below in the video description. Buy the books. Check out the Clary podcast. It's all there. So, all right, we'll see you guys later. Toodles.